Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Okay, I just ran super fast, so I'm out of breath. Let's go. I know it's Expedia, okay, but they make good videos, honestly. Link to the original video, top of the description. The reason I'm surprised by Expedia making these good videos is because I pictured Expedia, they're a travel agency, right? Just to be like vacation travel guide, like here are the hotels, here are how much they are, airfare price. But no, they're just good little videos about the place they're talking about. So my name's Connor if you're new. Hi, I like to watch stuff. Riveting, I know. Preemptive like. Let's go. Brisbane. I wanted to watch an Australia one. And Perth I want to see too.
The capital of the state of Queensland, Brisbane, is located inland from Moreton Bay, between the Sunshine Coast and the Gold Coast. The heart of the hilly city is its river, which snakes from Mount Stanley to the Coral Sea.
Mount Stanley, is that the highest peak in Australia? I know Australia doesn't have many, high mountains, but I'm assuming you probably have some skiing areas in the south during the winter or summer for you guys.
Queensland is Australia's sunshine state and enjoys a subtropical climate with hot, humid summers and warm, sunny winters. In Brisbane, any time of year is a good time for adventurous outdoor activities along the river or coast. Experience the more relaxing side of Brisbane in the parklands, museums and bars. Brizzy still has the laid-back country feel that is so iconic for the land down under. However, it's Australia's third largest city.
I saw a video of an Australian guy punching a kangaroo that was like, all right, the kangaroo, it was holding a dog. It was jacked too. These seem kind of small. He looks kind of ripped. But this gorilla, yeah, that's how strong it was. I'm getting it mixed up with a gorilla. They're kind of scary, actually. They're like man-sized rabbits. But yeah, it was kind of funny. He stunned it. I'll stop talking. Yeah.
So iconic for the land down under. However, it's Australia's third largest city, houses over 2 million people, and is growing fast.
Hungry Jacks.
Start your tour of the city on Brisbane's biggest hill. Mount Cootha was already visited by the Aboriginal people up to 40,000 years ago, and its name means honey, which they found here in abundance. While you're here, explore the wonders of the Southern Hemisphere in the Planetarium and Brisbane Botanical Gardens, including the Laughing Kookaburra. Oi, what are you laughing at? Feed lorikeets and see iconic Australian wildlife at the nearby Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary. Meet kangaroos, koalas and wombats, and don't miss the animal shows, which demonstrate some real Aussie traditions.
Keep cheering.
Downriver, in the Central Business District, the Queen Street Mall displays all the country's big retail brands. Visit the nearby Brisbane Museum to learn about the mining boom and other events that shape this city. Exhibits show how World Expo 88 led to the transformation of the river's southern bank.
Whenever I see like Australian wildlife, I get sad because I think of Steve Irwin. I'm not sure Australians, you guys know quite how famous Steve Irwin was. Like to Americans, and I'm sure British, everyone knew Steve Irwin. And I remember him being the first kind of death. Nobody had died in my family at the time or extended family. And so it was kind of the first death that kind of hit me hard. When did it happen? Like 2006 or something? I was probably like 11, 12, 13 years old or somewhere around that. And I loved, Animal Planet and nature shows. And when he died, it was the first time hearing it and just being like, wait, what? What are you talking about?
favourite back in 88 led to the transformation of the river's southern bank, the city's favourite backyard, which even has its own beach. Spacious South Bank has many free activities and facilities which attract more than 10 million people every year. Cool off in a lagoon or browse the weekend markets. Join the locals for a beer or visit one of the many prominent museums and theatres. The Wheel of Brisbane overlooks the cultural forecourt, a collection of Queensland's major museums and theatres. Meet some prehistoric creatures, admire Indigenous and European modern art, or see a show at the Performing Arts Centre. From the piers at South Bank, take the public ferry downstream to New Farm Park, where the restored powerhouse has become a real institution among art and music lovers. On your way back, hop off at Kangaroo Point to climb the Story Bridge, one of the best spots to watch the sunset over the city. Book your guided tour for mid-afternoon because nightfall comes early in Queensland. Get an early start and jump on the ferry to Moreton Island for a fun day out at the beach. Join a Segway tour along the shore before surfing down a massive sand dune. On a hot day, snorkel around the Tangalooma Wrecks, or if you'd rather stay high and dry, book a helicopter ride instead. Flying over the bay and the Coral Sea, it's clear that Queen...
Those intentionally sunk? They seem so uniform.
Instead. Flying over the bay and the Coral Sea, it's clear that Queensland's natural beauty merely starts in Brisbane. 2 hours flight to the north, the Great Barrier Reef is a living national treasure. Brisbane has a wealth of attractions, and you can indulge as much as you like. But in the river city of the north, you're never far from nature, which is free for all to enjoy.
Spiders. Not as afraid of spiders as I used to be. Centipedes, you can go to hell. I really feel bad about killing any animal, but if I see a house centipede, I'm sorry, you have to go. I feel bad still. All life is just trying to live. Sorry. But you, like, over here, I don't want to get bogged down into talking about spiders in Australia. I'm sure that's all Aussies here. From other people asking them questions. But funnel web spiders. No, thank you. They seem terrifying. Yeah, I don't know how... I can't think of a lot of Australian cities. I don't know how many I can name. Brisbane. It looks amazing, by the way. Very beautiful. Brisbane, Sydney, Canberra. It's your capital, right? Adelaide, Perth, Alice Spring, Darwin. I'm actually naming more than I thought. But I know Australia is as big as maybe Alaska makes us a little larger than Australia, but I know Australia is pretty similar to the contiguous U.S. states. And so you're not going to be able to go to Perth and Darwin and Adelaide and then Sydney and Brisbane. That's probably going to take you a good week and a half. But yeah, I'd like to go to Australia. It would be so cool. So you guys, the sun for you guys is always, it's in the north. Like it rises and sets. Obviously it rises east, sets in the west, same for everyone. But I mean, it's in the northern part of the sky, right? Because for us, it's always in the south. It's always that way, right? So that'd just be kind of trippy and be like, oh wait, the sun's in the north now. And like they said in the planetarium part, you'd have a whole different sky to look at, different stars you've never seen. So do you guys have the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper down there, or are those just you don't see those? God, I have a bunch of things I want to Perth seems super interesting. I'm gonna watch an Expedia video about Perth. Maybe I should just do it in the same video. You want to just do it? Let's just do it. Yeah, let's just go. But so when Perth is interesting, kind of like, because I just imagine Perth as just a hub of people that for 1,000 miles in all directions of land. I feel like there aren't a lot of major hubs. I'm sure Alice Springs too is on another level, just on all directions. But I just kind of think of southern, southeastern, and eastern Australia just being where all the people are, and just kind of interspersed with other towns throughout the more sparse places. But I remember I was curious, like, if I dug a hole straight down, right, and just perfectly straight, I went through the core of the earth, and I popped down on the other side. I did this I found this out by going to Google Maps, and then you can use a distance tool to tell the distance from one point and another. And I made the first point where I am, and then I made the other point as far as I could possibly go before the number started to get smaller again. And it turns out the complete opposite side of the world where I am, in Rhode Island, New England, USA, is a bit west into the Indian Ocean off the coast of Perth. And so it's interesting just to think that people over there right now, in relative to me, are upside down right now. Which is kind of cool. Well, right side up to you. I'm upside down to you, but yeah, interesting. I would just like to go to the Southern Hemisphere, period. Never been. Let's go, Perth.
Across the Indian Ocean, or the vast Australian desert, is Perth, a modern
it's
city
greener
of
than
nearly 2 million people. The capital of Western Australia follows the Swan River from the port of Fremantle to its source in the Darling Range.
Okay, so it's not a small city. 2 million is not small.
Perth's
So cool.
remoteness gives the city a unique feel, and many say this is
Nice
Australia's
grass.
friendliest metropolis. The sunny, clean city is also among the most livable cities in the world. The surrounding nature and wealth of mineral resources attracts people from all corners of the globe. Some say the best thing about
Question, guys? Anyone know? How much is this worth? For this? Like $50,000, $100,000, $500,000?
attracts people from all corners of the globe. Some say the best thing about Perth is its
Sorry.
coastline, with its pristine beaches and clear water.
Such a beautiful
Others
blue.
head straight for the delicious food and wine in the Swan Valley. In between is the compact city centre, with beautiful parks and fun attractions. Perth's cityscape shows a mix of styles, from towering Art Deco to the cosy Tudor-inspired London court. Modern
Question, before I forget it. Are kangaroos pretty dispersed throughout the whole country of Australia? Like, so you can find kangaroos in Perth or around Perth and around Brisbane? Or are they not in some areas?
glass offices and limestone facades reflect the sky and the earth, as well as the future and the past. For a bird's eye view of it all, make your way to the top of the iconic Swan Bell Tower.
Pretty.
Nearby Kings Park is where the first explorers found a natural spring and is still
James
a
Cook.
place for discovery. You could spend all day in this inner city haven, which is larger than New York Central Park. Walk through the Botanic Gardens and pause at monuments and remarkable trees.
Look at that grass. Oh my God. Lord.
Trees.
Well done.
Browse the downtown art gallery of Western Australia.
ADD bad. Is that an alien tree? Like something you'd see on Madagascar.
Browse the downtown art gallery of Western Australia to witness the development of the state through art. From the early days of farming and wool trade to the establishment of the Swan River Colony in 1829. Soon after settlement, the state's first botanists started to grow grapes on the water's edge, and Western Australia is now a world-famous wine region. Take a day trip out to the Swan Valley if you have a nose for quality produce. The area is full of boutique wineries, so take your time to find your preferred Chardonnay or Pinot Noir.
So you don't need to grow wine on a hill. It's always expected, like, yeah, sorry, all right.
Many of the early farmers caught gold fever in the late 19th century. Tour the Royal Mint to see the largest gold coin ever made and admire some of the greatest gold nuggets from the region.
It's gotta be so heavy.
Crikey, imagine finding that. Crikey, imagine finding that.
This was one clump. Imagine like everyone else around you getting gold and you're just awful, but you happen to find this. It's like, oh, I'm richer than everyone now. Jeez.
Perth's present-day treasure is Cottesloe Beach, and the best thing is, it's right on the city's doorstep. Rent a board and join the locals on the perfect waves. Visit the Western Australian Museum to learn about the state's archaeological treasures and amazing marine environment. See the real thing in the aquarium at Hillary's Boat Harbour. Just outside, the Sorrento Quay Boardwalk is a great place for a sunset dinner. From the harbour or the barracks downtown, take the ferry to Rottnest Island. Rhode has long been the favourite weekend getaway for Perth city dwellers. Snorkel in the warm Indian Ocean and walk along the stunning coastline. Keep your camera ready for surprising wildlife encounters.
Oh God. Don't go in the water. When I see seals, I think sharks. I'm so freaking lame, buzzkill. Sorry. Yeah, sharks.
Wildlife encounters.
Water's beautiful.
Western Australia has plenty of riches to share, and as the state capital, Perth has turned dust into gold. If you love surf, sand and sun, and a little solitude, Perth is waiting to be discovered.
No swimming. Interesting. I know they don't mean no swimming anywhere, just wonder if it's like a... Oh, probably because boats everywhere. Anyways, really cool. Should we watch another? No, we'll maybe I'll do it a different time. I'd like to watch one on like Darwin and Adelaide. Yeah. Cool. Hope you guys are doing well. Love y'all. I'd appreciate any answers to any of the questions I had. You Aussies. I feel so weird when I say that. Australians. Yeah, I'd appreciate any comments, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye, guys.